All right, good morning. It is June 4th. I'm going to give you a little walkthrough of what we've been doing here in the corner lot area. First things first, what we did is coming off the driveway here, we made what I call the service drive. So this path that you see here, that's still grass, lines all the way and gets us back into the privacy fence. So the tractor with the 46-inch mower deck can make it in and out of there. So I turned this place over here into a pollinator bed, obviously. This was because of the way they built this up with gravel and just clay material to build the garage. This was really compacted. So what I ended up doing was obviously turn down the sprinkler, getting it as wet as I could after I removed the sod. I had some mulched leaves in a bin in the backyard. So I tilled some mulched leaves and some broken down leaves, some leaf mold, into that compacted area, mixed it in really good. I had some leftover soil that I dug up as I was planting stuff over here that I'll show you later. Mixed that in, and then I topped it with mulched leaves, a combination of mulched leaves and straw, which is the color you see here. Here we have a hybrid lilac that's going to bush out, and it's supposed to bloom 3 times a year. So that'll kind of fill this area in over here. The other caged area you see over here, that's a rhododendron. This is all of our stick pile that we're using for like border ideas and whatnot. So sorry about the mess against the garage there. But if we were to follow this service drive, as I call it, over to here, this is all, I know there's grass still here, but that's all going to be moved. This is all going to be a flower bed. The other path, as you see here, there's one border of it. There's going to be another border of it going this way, following its curve and all that stuff. But for now, what you see is going to be a complete flower bed area, planting area. What we did here, I planted a witch hazel bare root plant. I know it's hard to see. I'll wiggle it a little bit. It's a stick, right? Witch hazel will bloom in the fall for the pollinators, which is nice. So I got that there. Then I have 2 bare root serviceberry shrubs, Saskatoon serviceberry, which aren't supposed to get super tall, but they will bush out a little bit. They will provide not only berries, but they'll provide obviously flowers for the pollinators in the spring, berries in the fall for the birds. Here's the other Saskatoon serviceberry here. Some of the things I have cages on here, obviously, because the deer are still managing to find their way into this corner lot, even though we have a ton of fencing, which you'll see too. Again, that's all stuff we're going to use for borders, landscape things, put, flower pots on, all this and that, right? That goes into the backyard. Here is the paper birch bare root that we planted 3 years ago. Deer got to it. I took this fencing down and expanded the mulch area. Well, while this fencing was down the first night, deer came over and ate most of the leaves off, but it's starting to come back. And then here is going to be, next to the privacy fence going this way, is going to be more, some more paths, maybe a sitting area, more things that we'll plant over here. This gets full sun in the afternoon. It bakes over here, so this is definitely for the full sun stuff over here. Right now I have some common milkweed. I had some English lavender that did sprout that I, tried to grow in the basement. They were somewhat big enough. I'm like, okay, you guys are going outside. I need the space. So we'll see what they do. If they don't make it, they don't make it. But that's okay because I have lavender over here. So we got lavender there. And then this is going to be one of the big internal pollinator beds here. I'm bordering it right now with logs, trying to shape it where it's kind of cool. I don't want too many straight lines. I want curviness. I want stuff to flow really nice, right? Swamp milkweed here. Come on now. What is it? Sedum. So that's like autumn joy or the neon pink version. Let's see here. Rhododendron, hyssop. We have some globe thistles I planted over here. They're kind of small. Grew them from seeds. We'll see if they'll make it. Lavender, more sedum, a different variety. That'll all bloom in the fall. The bumblebees love that stuff. Obviously, the milkweed is for the monarchs and other critters that like milkweed. Deer destroyed the prairie blazing star, right? So at first, I didn't have any cages on any of this stuff. They came over and devoured these two. They're hopefully going to survive. I mean, this happened about a month ago. They're still alive. They got to that one a little bit too, but there is a bloom. What I did here is I tilled all this up, right, with just a shovel. Bunch of feeder roots from the maple trees. We got maple trees over here. So we got a bunch of, let me see if I can show you. I'm sure I have a patch of it somewhere. Yeah, it's a thick carpet of this stuff, right? Right as I remove the sod, there's a little bit of soil like that. But right underneath that soil, it's just a carpet of all this. So I went through, I planted all this stuff, and then I'm like, you know what? I want this stuff to spread. We either buy the roots or buy seed, in the fall, grow in the spring. I want this all to fill in. I don't feel confident that seeds or the roots of these perennials are going to really break through a carpet of garbage, right? Really thick, matted stuff. So I got the shovel and tilled it all over in between all the plants. It's all been tilled up, and then I put the same combination of straw and mulched leaves on top to keep the moisture in the soil, and as that stuff breaks down, it'll be nutrients for all the plants. We have some Joe Pye weed here. That's going to get really tall, be really nice. We have some hybrid goldenrod, little lemon, I think it's called. We have, come on now, I know what this is, aster, New England aster, New England asters, more goldenrod, bee balm, different varieties of bee balm, another New England aster. Deer got to that one, but it's going to survive. I sown from seed in the basement. I have stinging nettle, which is what those are. Very good herb to have, and it's also some of the butterflies like that too, caterpillars rather like that. That's more bee balm there. Salvia, is that what that is? Yeah, that's what that is. Butterfly bush. I know it's not native. I'm trying to stick with a lot of native stuff, but there are some things for the generalists, bumblebees, butterflies, for the nectar that I am planting, which is going to be obviously the butterfly bush. There's a white one, purple one. I have another one in the garage I haven't planted yet. I built this structure. I have netting around it because I was still worried about the deer. This is normal netting. You can't see the black bird netting. It's also wrapped around, connected to these cedar posts, the 3 cedar posts. But I built the teepee in the middle, and I have honeysuckle. So I have honeysuckle that's going to grow up here, and you can see that I do have some blooms on the honeysuckle, right? Ooh, that one, oh cool, that one opened. All right, so that's cool. I got another honeysuckle growing up back there. I threw some alyssum seeds down there. They were an old packet from like 2 years ago. I'm like, maybe they'll germinate. Well, they did. Bird bath that I have to level. It's kind of cattywampus here. Coneflower, purple coneflowers here. When I grew from seed yarrow, I got the summer pastel. I didn't know that the white version is native to Michigan. I thought, so that's the non-native summer pastel or whatever colors there. So I did buy the seed, the natural or the native white yarrow, which I'll sow in the fall. I'm just going to sprinkle that around. There we have foxglove. We'll see if they make it. I grew that from seed. Here's just seeds I just kind of sprinkled on top of some tilled soil, and I wanted to see how it was going to do. Matted soil with the roots in there, and then me trying to till some up and throwing some seeds down. It looks like obviously there's the difference. So that's another reason why I went through and I tilled all that stuff. So yeah, that's what we've done so far. Today I'm working on the borders. There's a purple coneflower there. This was matted down. I removed the sod, same kind of test I did over there. Didn't till this up, and I threw seeds down, and the only seeds on top of that matted root layer, right? And the only seeds I see germinating are those, and they should be Queen Anne's lace. We'll see. There's another one over there, another one over there. Sorry, I'm trying to reach with the camera. But everything you see here is just grass. This isn't the seeds I planted. So yeah, the matted layer is just these little seedlings, are going to struggle to get their little roots through that stuff. So that's why It's better for me to till it, you know, and I'm doing it the hard way, obviously, after the fact with a shovel, but hey, it's all right. It's not that big of an area. I got it done. I just have a little bit more to do over there. Oh, here is butterfly weed. This is going to be orange butterfly weed here. And yeah, St. John's wort, forgot about that. But yeah, that's what we got going so far. Oh, the hedging. Okay. Here we have, I bought from Arbor Day Foundation. I know it's hard to see because they're bare root, right? They're bare wood lilacs going all the way down. Sorry, I know you probably can't see. You see a few green leaves. There's one. They're going all the way down. I want to tip the camera, but then it'll just be sideways. It's not going to flip for you in the video. So that's going all the way down this side of the sidewalk, and they're connecting to the privacy fence because they like full sun, and this gets, you know, lots of hours of sun after in the afternoon here. And then here we have skip laurels, right? An evergreen. At first we had them going this way, right, and coming back. We didn't know there has to be a 20-foot. The city ordinance have to be 20-foot triangle where nothing above 3 feet, blah, 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 so people can see, which I didn't know. So all we did is we moved them back, and we just got them going this way. So we got the ordinance all fine and dandy, no issues there now. The fencing is here for the deer. I spent a lot of money on these laurels. You wouldn't believe how much money I spent on these laurels. So I had 6-foot fencing at first, didn't know that was against an ordinance. We cut it down to 4 foot to meet the ordinance, which is fine, but it's double layer fence, so the deer hopefully don't just plop in there and just have a nice row to eat, right? So far, so good. This has been up for months now, and they've not gotten in here. So that's worked. Same thing over there, double layer, one on this side, posts on that side, fencing running all the way down. So yeah, rhododendron here, which now it's like, oh, we're going to turn this into a seating area. That bench is actually going to go out there in that corner. What I'm going to do is I'm going to probably put white clover seed down next spring. It's getting too late in the season, try and get stuff to germinate and keep it moist. I got to go to work and everything, so I'll probably take advantage of the spring rains next year. What I'll do is I'll take some of that mulch that I have sitting in the driveway over there, and I'll put it there. I'll rock line it with some nice small bouldery rocks, keep the bikes from cutting in and dogs from getting in there and pooping. And I'll put the bench there, remove that outer fencing around that triangle out there by that sidewalk, right? So people can sit there. It'll be a little community space or what have you. But anyways, yeah, so now it's like, oh no, maybe I should move this rhododendron because we might turn this into a seating area. Not with that bench, but, you know, seating area. We have an outdoor fire pit we can set out here and move around as needed. You know what I mean? It's a mobile fire pit. But yeah, that's what we got going on so far. Oh, we're putting in a little pond too. Oh, by the way, the robins have been loving me when I'm digging in the soil. You got a little robin? Yeah, I love robins. Going after the wormies and the grubs. Good helpers in the garden, them. But yeah, anyways, that's what we're working on. A little pond. I'm going to put a 50-gallon pond in here somewhere. I don't know if I want to put it, like, this is going to be a path here, so it ain't going to go here, but I can put it here. I can put it here. These are the two spots I'm kind of thinking. This isn't really level ground, you know, and I don't want to move it too much here because there's going to be a walking path going that way. I don't want a pond right next to a walking path, you know, because anybody can fall in or what have you. But anyways, we'll figure that out. But yeah, I know it's kind of a cluster right now, but it's going to come together. When all this stuff fills in, it's going to be great. And what I'll probably do too is I'll probably do like, since it's such a big bed, like I might like put some stepping stones, right? Kind of maybe do just a way to get through stuff, right? So I can go in there and weed as necessary and whatnot, you know. So I'll probably just put a couple stepping stones or what have you in there and kind of break it up a little bit, but nothing wide enough to get the wheelbarrow through. That's what all the other paths are going to be for. Wide enough not only to walk, but get the wheelbarrow around perimeters and weave in and out. That's why, you know what I mean? I'm just trying to make it cool. I'm trying to make it like flow really nice and curvy. Not a whole lot of straight lines. I know there's some there. Sorry, but that's going to be blocked by these shrubs and then the tree there. So that's the service drive is supposed to be going to be covered up from this view, right? I'm going to have stuff growing enough to where that is kind of blocked from view looking this way. But anyways, that's my plan. All right. Let me know what you think.